That's a new one.
Aloha. Do we sit in these seats here?
Sign in.
Okay. I'm Brian. Hi, Gina. You know? Yeah. Aaron, A-A-R-O-N, yeah. Okay. All right, okay. That's an easy word.
Hi, welcome to the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology virtual board meeting. Before the meeting is called to order, we will play a short video to explain procedures for this virtual meeting and how members of the public can participate, interact with the board during the meeting.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Well, still, as a reminder to the public, if you're accessing this meeting by the internet to view the meeting and provide oral live testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with an entry in an email address such as your name at anymail.com. Your microphone will automatically be muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate you wish to testify about that item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you have finished speaking. Access by phone. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. But you will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted to the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star, then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star, then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you finish speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. Both internet and phone access when testifying. For both internet access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and your organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony. I will now conduct a roll call of the board members. When your name is called, please state that you're present and state that you're alone if there are any other individuals at your location. I'm Margaret Williams, and I'm alone. Raynette?
Raynette Hall, alone.
Michael Bost
Michael Basta, I am alone.
and Jamie?
Hi, Jamie, yeah, and I'm alone.
Okay. I would like to first make a motion to move the agenda item 6 to the first item, right after the approval of the minutes. What is it?
Raynette Hall, second.
Pardon?
I second the motion.
Okay. Second the emotion. All in favor, say aye. Raise your hand and say aye. And any nays? No. Then the motion is carried, and we can go on to the minutes of the meeting. Are there any members of the public that would like to provide oral testimony on the minutes on this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Are there any recommended amendments to the board meeting open session minutes? No amendments? Then is there a motion to approve the board meeting, open session, and executive session minutes?
Raynette Hall motions to approve.
And a second?
Second,
Jamie Yap, second. Then the minutes of the meeting are approved. Motion is carried. Then we go on to,
Chair, you have to ask if there's any opposed before you can say they carry.
I thought I did. Any opposed? No? Okay, now it carries. Motion is
Thank
carried.
you.
Sorry.
That's a-
Now we will go on to item 6. Item 6 is request for approval of online esthetician program, Honolulu Nail Academy, LLC, Yuko Hole. Are there any members of the public who would like to provide oral testimony to this agenda item?
Thank
Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes each person.
Okay,
Thank you, Chair. We have one individual wishing to provide oral testimony.
Do you want to take the folks on Zoom first?
I
Sure.
would think we want to speak to the people on Zoom first, yes.
Okay, all right.
Please introduce yourself. I'm not there, so speakers, people who wish to speak.
So we have Denise on screen. We're having difficulty hearing you. Can you?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you. Please
All right.
introduce yourself, and if you're with any organization, and please limit your testimony to 1 to 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Denise Marchakos. I live on Kauai, and I'm a mother of 2. And I need a career, and I am not able to go to Oahu to go to the esthetician school 9 hours, 8 hours a day. And this would benefit me so much and my family to be able to do, and sorry, I get a little emotional, to do an online course. It would help my family and me out to have a career. I'm swinging my daughter right now. So I would like to be able to have the option to have a career in being an esthetician here in Kauai. And there is not these options here. So it would mean a lot to me and my family to be able to have this, to do it at nighttime and on the weekends when it is available for me. It would go a long way. Thank you.
Next person.
Is there anyone else
Thank you,
online?
Denise.
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone wishing to provide testimony. Oh, sorry. We just got a raised hand from Illinois. I will promote you to panelist.
Aloha, can you folks hear?
We can hear you. If you please go ahead and give us your testimony.
Okay. Aloha, I'm Lilinoi Kahai and I'm from Lahaina, Maui. So I am also a single mother of 2 keiki, and I wanted to attend the Honolulu Nails and Aesthetic Academy with Yuko Ho, and mahalo Yuko for trying to fight for us to continue. So for me, same as a mother prior, I'm unable to be on Oahu, but I know that this is something that has already been happening since 2020. And so I would really like for us to just continue. It isn't something that we're starting, like they're starting now and is trying to figure out. They've already had success. So I think it's a great option for us who want to be a part of the beauty industry. And I would really love for us to really just focus on helping other people get on board rather than looking at the little things to remove it. Again, this is something that they've been doing since 2020. So I hope we can continue. And I hope, Yuko, that I could be a part of your school soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else
Thank you,
on Zoom
Illinois.
that wants to provide testimony?
We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. All right, Chair, if you're ready, we can start with the folks here in the room. Sir?
Hi, my name is William.
Please come forward.
Sit here.
Rusty. Can I move this chair? Yes, of course.
My name's William Brian Atkinson. I'm the owner of Lahaina Health Company, which is a day spa in Lahaina. I'm at the Marriott timeshare in Kaanapali. Since the pandemic came, as you guys know, we've lost a lot of workers. So they've moved to the mainland, the schools have closed. And now I've been used to, in the I've been in business now for 30 years. And I've been used to the ebb and flow, but because of the pandemic, it's really cut into what we have. Now with the Lahaina fire, it's done a double whammy. I've got everybody, well, I lost a house in Lahaina. I've got my workers have been displaced. They're caregivers, they're people that take care of their children, don't have homes, so they can't get away. And I have massage therapists. I have 4 of them right now that want to get their esthetician license so they can be dual licensed. So I'm just starting to pick business back up. I have to turn customers away because I don't have enough estheticians, and these single mothers can't get away. They can't afford to leave their day job to go to school, but they could take class at night. And this is what I'm asking. I want to take the course so that I can be I'm the principal massage therapist at my business, but I also want to be the principal esthetician over there. So I just ask, I know that, I don't know, but what I've heard is that during the pandemic, you did okay this, it was a successful endeavor. There haven't been any bad cases that I know of. It seems like a win-win, and especially with the governor getting on the television every day and saying we have to promote and help Lahaina. And that's what I'm vying for right now, is that we help Lahaina get back on its feet. You know, our rebuilding's not going to be for maybe 2, 3, 5 years. And so we're all hurting over there, and any help we can get from anywhere will be taken. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Is there someone else that would like to testify at this time? Okay. It looks like that's all the folks that want to testify on behalf of this. Did you want to speak to Honolulu Nail, or did you want to go into executive session to continue to make deliberations that you were unable to make at the last meeting?
Executive session.
Yeah, I would like to move to go into executive session.
Okay, so Michael, you made that motion?
Yes.
Rainette Hall seconds.
Just a moment, please. The board heard the presentation last time. It does have the memorandum forwarded. We should.
I have one question. I just wanted to know whether the board will be willing to say that we have some signatures. We have some signatures. I didn't know whether it was finally or not. So, but we do have the signature. We could actually better.
So the board is unable to see all the letters because they are joining us remotely.
Correct.
You were asked to have all the information to us a week ago so we could get it in the application packet. We will take it, but the board will not be able to look at it this meeting because it wasn't in the application packet for this meeting.
I had a couple letters and nobody told me anything, so if I'd like to be able to submit them, if I can, these are from a couple of my workers who are asking for what I got.
Again, you can leave all the letters,
Okay,
but the board will not be able to look at them because they were not received in a timely fashion prior to the meeting. Okay, the agenda does say to get information to us. Ms. Ho was told that her packet information had to be with us before a certain date. So you're more than welcome to leave the information. The board will not, I don't have any mechanism to get them to the board at this late date.
who are you guys? You're not the board?
We are the administrators. We work for DCCA.
Uh-huh.
I and Rhonda are the executive officers for this board. Mr. Kim is our Deputy Attorney General and Kai is our secretary. The board members have joined us via Zoom.
Are there
Those are the board-
in all the different counties?
So if you look at our statutes, we're required to have people from other items besides just a walk. So at this time, we have a motion and a second to move into executive session. If you'd like to leave your
executive session, it used to be that a motion needed to state why we're going into executive. I don't like that on here.
Okay, Mr. Batista?
Yes.
If you could please go to the beginning of your agenda. Trying to find where we list that. Hold on just a moment. And state why we are going into executive session, which is listed.
The board may move into executive session to consider and evaluate personal information relating to individuals applying for licensure in accordance with the statutes, or to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities in accordance with HRS 92-5, Section 4.
Thank you, Chair. So we had the motion. We had the second? Yeah, Raynette seconded, you can call for the vote.
Okay. We're going to do a roll call to go into executive session. I'm Margaret Williams, and I say yes. Raynette,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes, let's move to session.
Okay. It's approved. We're going into executive session.
Okay, thank you.
Motion carried.
So we're gonna go into executive session. If everyone would like to step back outside where you waited before, you can move the letters on the table. We will have them. And then we'll call you back in after the board, from the executive session. So Waiting for your sound. You're still muted.
I'm getting a host has stopped my video. I'm unable to start the video.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Um,
ask
hi.
you to start the video. Okay, I believe I'm good now.
Okay, Margaret, can you hear me?
Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, there was a lot of background noise. Is your door shut?
No, you want to? I will.
Yeah, because that was executive. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and let folks in on this side.
All right.
I don't have one. We'll do Brian Andrews.
Okay, Chair, everyone's here. If you want to ask them if they'd like to make any comments.
Yes, is there anyone from Honolulu Nil Academy or anywhere that would like to make any more comments before we do the determination or present?
Can I read my letters?
Please limit to 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can read that fast. You have the letter?
Go ahead.
I put a letter in here. Thank you. William Brian Atkinson again. This is a couple letters I have from my workers. My name is Yanela Bordeaux, and I'm a massage therapist at Spa by the Sea in Lahaina. Massage therapy, a license 13961. I've been interested in becoming an esthetician for a while, but it's very challenging to be able to attend school in person. Between working and fulfilling obligations, it is impossible for me to align my schedule with aesthetic school on Maui. Adding a couple hours on top of that for commute makes it even harder to attend school. I was very excited to learn that one of my friends got a certificate online at Honolulu Nail and Aesthetic Academy. I was hopeful that I can finally fulfill my dreams of becoming a dual licensed therapist. I was very disappointed to find out that the school is no longer offering online option. It is so disheartening, as I am a displaced resident and someone who has lost both jobs and as a result of the Lahaina fire, to find out that getting online certification is no longer possible at this time. Please allow the Honolulu Nails and Aesthetic Academy to resume their online certification, as this would be a tremendous help for many who cannot physically attend school. Thank you for your attention to this. This is the shorter letter. This is from Allie Gunderson, to whom it may concern. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to formally request the reinstatement of online classes for aesthetics that are currently being reviewed. As a Lahaina resident over 20 years and a mother of 2 boys, I have found it difficult to find and secure flexible resources to further my career and education. I work full-time as an LMT, that's a licensed massage therapist, to support my family. Also, due to our wildfire disaster, my son's school has limited transportation, which leaves me with little time to dedicate to my extracurricular activities. Having an online option where I am able to be flexible with myself and my son's schedule would be crucial in helping me progress forward in my career. I humbly request a reconsideration of this matter and appreciate your time and attention to this request. I am more than willing to discuss this further or provide any other additional information that may be required. Mahalo for your consideration. I look forward to a positive resolution and reinstatement of the online aesthetics class. Best regards, Allie Gunderson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Hi, my name is Boho. I'm owner of the Honolulu and Aesthetic Academy. So I just, I know they, almost 1 year to discuss about this, online program. And then, I very appreciate, for all of them, you guys, to give me good advice. And then we could, include our and then which I cannot, show my true system, but I have, the discussion video. Every session have password lock and start from the is all passed, cannot go forward. So everything check system, I've been through it, my system. I have 1 year, almost 1 year to fix it. So I actually very, very appreciate. So I'm more confident to, the student can get better education and then pass the exam and then I really want to give them opportunity to become a physician and then support their families or support their life. So to ask, of course, the students have to work so hard because everything is check system, and also our instructor also we have to hard work. So, but it's still I really want to because people are waiting for our system to start it. So please think about it, and then I hope you guys understand. And if you have any question, please tell me now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Hello, my name is Winnie Kai. I guess what I wanted to say in the short time I have is that taking into consideration every question that was asked of me for Mr. Anderson for another school, I've been addressing the best of their ability to have gone above and beyond, answering your concerns, looking at their concerns, considering them seriously, in spite of the fact that maybe they were not, well, they might not have been, as you say. And so I think the board needs to consider that everything that they throw in the path of this approval were legitimate questions, something looked at, considered seriously, and addressed. And if there are further questions, they'd be happy to answer them in lifetime area as well. So I'm just here to support the Honolulu Academy and their endeavor. Thank you very much.
Here we have a raised hand.
Oh, okay, please have them hold. Let's see if there's anyone else in person that wants to speak before we go back to Zoom.
Okay.
We don't want to speak on this side. Okay, all right, you can bring the person on to testify.
What person on?
The person on Zoom that wanted to say something.
Oh, there's one on Zoom.
Aloha, I'm Nini Kai, and I'm sorry, just wanted another chance to speak before you folks make a decision. So I just wanted to say we are in the era of transitioning to virtual options. You know, I go to the doctors and I speak with my physicians. They can make diagnosis and prescribe medication just by me sending a photo without me having to be in there. So this is a new era. Like I said, online, they've already been doing it. And I do understand the concern, safety, like wax, you know, the heat and whatnot, but we're all different. I've been going to waxing for like a decade, and it's hot for me. It's not hot for the tech who's waxing me. And then it's hot for her. It's not hot for me. So the concerns that have been brought up in the meeting that I've watched previously, that's more on, I don't know how to say it. It's just how I feel. Yeah. So I don't want that to be like a reason to just discontinue. I do understand safety, but we're all different. Pain tolerance is different. And I would like to, before it just gets shut down, if that's where we're going towards, if we can just voila out, you know, talk story a little bit so that we can figure out how to just continue. And so yeah, before we make the decision, even if we can do online for practical and maybe just do like a week, I can fly to Oahu for a week rather than figure out how to move my family there for 3 months if I do the online theory with Honolulu Nails and Aesthetic Academy. Even that is just so much better than just discontinuing the online. So please consider. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Before the vote, I'd like to say something. Many, many years ago, when it came up in legislation, we did fight so that apprentices would be allowed in Hawaii. We are one of the very few states that allows apprenticeships. And the reason we fought for apprenticeship was so that people on the outer islands would be able to acquire their license by training under the supervision of direct supervision of a licensed esthetician, cosmetologist, or whatever. And that is how the outer islands have been operating. And it is possible to find apprenticeships. That's just my feelings.
I have a comment on that.
Say again?
I said, I have a comment on that. After the pandemic, sorry.
Are we still taking testimony?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay, just come forward. Brian Atkinson again. After the pandemic, a lot of people left the island and didn't come back. And so there aren't as many people as you might think to do the apprenticeships. I live in Lahaina, and I've got one girl that's an esthetician, but she doesn't want to take on the responsibility of the apprenticeship because she's afraid of the liabilities. So I don't think the apprenticeship is as easy as you might think it is, but that's all I have to say.
Chair, we have a raised hand.
Okay, please move them to panelists.
I also want to agree with the mentorship. I have asked over 5 people, and they're so busy that they're not willing to take on an apprenticeship, as well as there's just not enough estheticians, especially in Kauai. They're working for the corporations and they don't have a space of their own. They already have their clientele, and it's not worth the money for them to take on apprenticeships, as well as being a mom that needs to be around their children. I can't go and stay with somebody for 8 hours, but I can do online courses in the evening times and on the weekends. And most estheticians are busy during the weekends and don't want to take on somebody in a personalized space where they're having their quiet time and wanting just them one-on-one. And also, it would also mean a lot to us because we would have to relocate our family. We are renters, and it's not that easy to come back and have the same rent. We would have spiked rent there and spiked rent there, and it's not very easy for my husband to go and find new work on a different island, as well as uproot my children. So this is a huge, huge opportunity to go into the 21st century and allow us to have this time to do things online. There's so many courses and so many things online, and it has been successful. And even again, with the heat and the wax, we're all adults, and there are temperature controls on things. You test it on yourself. You know, most of us that are wanting to go into this course are already in this course. I've been a massage therapist for 15 years, and I'm just needing something to do differently. And I really need to be able to stay here on this island and stay stable for my family, as well as for my husband and him to work. And it would mean a lot so that we could have a more of an income coming in our family. And being able to do this in our own time would also be amazing, to not feel rushed and to not have to commute somewhere every day. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. 2 minutes.
Shall we call for a vote? Or any others to speak?
Yes, no.
Thanks, Margaret. The information about apprentice hour is different, it's double. They have to, they take the double hour. And then also we teach for the school, curriculum is, already completed. But, if you go some apprentice and then the owner or, the person who has the license to supervise. So we don't know how to teach them. I mean, it's honest, knowledge is going to the student and the person who apprentice knowledge. So, but we are for all the curriculum and the textbook and the registry free to check them. So more, and then also, since I forgot that, but here, but the person who, the owner has to pay for the back of, the bottom of labor. So you still have to pay hourly. So a lot of people I hear, they don't want to pay unless, the teach from the beginning. So it's really hard to find the person who, have the opportunity to get the advantage. So that's the, so that's the fact for now. So I hear from a lot of students, so that's why they decided to come school. Thank you.
Chair, that looks like everyone that wanted to testify.
Is everyone done with testifying? Then I do believe it is time for us to call for a vote. I personally need to make.
Margaret, did you want to ask the board if they had any questions before you called?
Oh, sorry, board members, do you have any questions for the people who have spoken?
I don't have a question, but for the two that came on Zoom, what we are voting on is that it cannot be 100% online.
Mhm.
As of right now, we have already approved that 25% of the class can be online as long as it was not practical on people, on human beings or living beings. So just to make that clear, we're not saying can't do it online. We're saying you cannot do 100% online. And that's what was brought up. Because the way it sounded from the testimonies was that we were saying no to everything online, and that's not the case. We understand that we are going into a virtual age. So I just wanted to make that clear. We do understand that. So that was all.
That is good. Anybody else have anything to say? Then I believe I'm making an emotion to deny the request for 100% online training program. We have safety concerns. The curriculum must be allowed by the board. It must be approved by the board, and we do not approve of 100% online. It is not safe, so far as we are concerned, for students to be practicing without supervision, and referring to HRS 439A11, beautiful school facilities. The facilities, someone's home is just not adequate facility. The practical operations absolutely need immediate supervision. Is there someone to second the emotion?
Second, Michael Boss, the second.
Then we'll be calling for a vote. I believe this should be a roll call. Margaret Williams, I say yes to deny. Raynette?
Agree to deny.
Michael?
Yes to deny.
And Jamie?
Yeah, I agree also to deny.
Okay. Then all have approved, and then the vote is carried through. We are afraid we had to deny your request to Honolulu Nail Academy.
Is there gonna be a formal, denial order, or?
Can you send a letter verifying, outlining the board vote, like that?
Okay, so it could be formal, right, formal letter.
Okay, shall we move on to the second item on the agenda? Or the first item on the agenda?
Yeah, we're on number 3, executive officer report.
Couldn't hear that, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, there's, can you help? There's some discussion and we want to be able to address.
Oh, okay, Wi-Fi,
So, supervision, we, provide, we say live session.
So the board's concern is in-person supervision and live is not, if they want someone there that can intervene should something need to happen, not video.
You know, that's a little ingenuous with the, that you're talking that apprenticeship is okay. You don't know who these people are, they're licensed, but you don't know what they're doing.
So
You know.
the apprenticeship program is statutory.
Yeah,
It's
well,
statutory.
whatever it is,
So
right.
you can be upset with the board's decision, if that is the board's decision, an official letter will go out. And that is the board's decision at this time. Okay.
So what 25% is that you can do online?
The board has approved 100% theory instruction online. 25%, you cannot go over 25, I don't have the memo with me. You can do up to 25% practical theory, so long as it is on mannequins and not live subjects.
And that is hour for hour, that's not like you gotta do twice as many hours?
No,
Apprenticeship, you do double
the
hours?
double hours is apprenticeships.
Yeah.
Apprentices are double school hours.
Yeah,
So the hours for a school don't change.
Yeah.
You can do 100% theory instruction online, up to 25% of that may be theory practicum online. So long as it is not on a live subject, it must be on a mannequin.
so can you could turn that in and then you could get that online and then do an apprenticeship for the rest?
There are people that do apprenticeships and school, and there are people that do the online and then go in person for the rest of the school. But right now, this is not a time for me to explain the minutia of our statutory requirements for licensure.
That's what this
Right
is.
now, this was a discussion on whether or not Honolulu County could have a 100% online program. The board has already taken that vote, and we do have a very long agenda to get through. If you would like further discussion, you can ask for it to be on another board agenda, or you can email the board, and we'll be happy to go through the requirements for licensure, so that someone can take the test, what the requirements are. We're happy to answer those questions. But right now, this is not the,
I hear you.
I can't go into
I hear
the
you.
weeds
I hear
right now. This is, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We will be sending a letter. Chair, we were on item number 3 of the agenda.
That's the executive officer's report.
Okay, so I have, Rhonda, I have the exam results for November 2023 and December 2023. Okay, for barber, 17 candidates, 4 passed, 13 failed. Cosmetology, 24 candidates, 12 passed, 12 failed. Esthetician, 51 candidates, 32 passed, 19 failed. Hairdresser, 3 candidates, 3 failed. Instructor was 0. Nail technician, 18 candidates, 4 passed, 14 failed. December. Barber, 9 candidates, 6 passed, 3 failed. Cosmetology, 15 candidates, 4 passed, 11 failed. Esthetician, 26 candidates, 11 passed, 15 failed. Hairdresser, 4 candidates, 4 failed. Instructor, 1 candidate, 1 pass. Nail technician, 12 candidates, 8 passed, 4 failed. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. We're on to licensing. Are there any members of the public that would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Is there a motion to go into executive session again to consider and evaluate personal information relating to the individuals applying for licensure? Motion?
Motion to go into executive session, Renette.
Second? I need a second. Okay.
Second.
Jamie Yap, second. Motion is carried. Let's go into executive session again.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Please turn off the cameras and mute yourself in Zoom and join us over in Teams for executive session. We're gonna have to actually step out on the session. Who's the
Are we all here? Hello?
I am here.
Yeah, we're here. Where's the board? I mean, where's the executive secretaries?
I'm sorry. Sorry.
All righty.
It's been a long day.
Okay,
Okay, we're going back to licensing.
and my turn. Is that what
Okay.
okay. The board, I'm motion to approve. I can go down the line, right, and do everybody and then we
And then
also,
do one vote, yeah.
okay,
And do a separate vote though for the Rico one.
okay.
When we get there.
So for, oh, where are you? Catherine Ronaldo, motion to approve conditional license. Monica Oliva, motion to approve. Mia Barragang, motion to approve. Beauty Defined Hawaii license, motion to defer. For the applications of restoration, Than Nguyen, motion to approve with exam waiver, and Stacy Iosel or Lave is approval, same thing, exam waiver, approval with exam waiver. And ratification list, approval of the entire list. And then, do I have a second for all of those?
Okay.
Second, Jamie Yap.
Okay.
All in favor, say no. I mean, say yes. Raise your hand and say yes. That's easiest.
Yes.
I'm missing. Okay, I heard her though.
Yes.
Brain-
You want everybody up on that one.
Okay, motion.
Right.
Oh, all. That's what it says. All in favor, say no. Sorry. All opposed, say no. Okay, now the motion is carried.
On to new business. So RICO Advisory Committee members, we motion to approve the RICO Advisory Committee members effective January 1st, 2024, and any additional appointees that RICO deems necessary to aid in investigations.
Yes,
Do I have a second?
I'll be second.
Okay.
Okay, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Denied, no. Any? Okay, then the motion is carried. Now,
Next meeting.
are there any members of the public who would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. We have an email from Team Meticulous. Does this go back to the executive secretaries? Or shall I read it? Team Meticulous would like to know whether it is against the law for nail technicians to work on clients with toenails that have irregular appearances and are affected by nail fungus. And also, are there any specific guidelines, protocols, or regulations in place to address the concerns related to toenail irregularities and nail fungus? Okay.
Just a moment, Margaret, I was busy talking to our applicant, but in our down the rest of the meeting. Did we do 5B Act 073 session law?
5B.
No, we did not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're
I
all
wrote
having
over
a day today.
Thank you. I'm glad you caught it. Okay. That's set for you, or shall I read it?
I can do that, that's fine. So we had a question arise. Act 73, that's the bill that changed your statute, right?
Mhm.
We need to discuss the board's interpretation of the high school equivalency requirement for barber apprenticeships and applicants with respect to Act 73, Session Law Hawaii 2022, Section 8, which provides any holder of a barber apprentice permit in effect before July 1, 2023, who files an application for barber license before July 1, 2024, may satisfy the training requirement by having 1,500 hours of barber training in a barber shop or beauty shop. Any barber student who began training before the effective date of this act may satisfy the training requirement by having 1,500 hours of barber school training.
Okay,
The question arises, it's all about the number of hours of training. We have a applicant who was approved for her barber apprenticeship before July 1, 2023. She has applied for her barber license before July 1, 2024. However, she doesn't have a high school equivalent education because at the time she applied for her apprenticeship, she didn't need one.
Wouldn't that grandfather her in?
That's the question, because the act, this only talks about the training. It doesn't talk about the education. Unless you're saying the high school diploma is part of the training of the barber apprentice.
No, I mean, if it was that way before she started,
Feel like it's grandfathered in, she can continue.
we can't consider the 1,500 hours equivalent to the high school diploma because for the future, people would use that to want to be equivalent to the high school diploma.
Right,
So-
we're not saying that the 1,500 hours is equivalent to the high school diploma. We're saying that the law that changed your statute only addressed the 1,500 hours. It didn't address the high school diploma issue. When you were putting the bill together, you thought ahead. You said, oh, there's going to be people that have only completed 1,500 hours. Should give them a cushion where they can go ahead and get licensed. But that cushion, that grandfather cushion, if you would, didn't take under consideration that there might be people that were approved for apprenticeship without a high school diploma. But now they can't apply for the license because they don't have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make that decision for you. You, with your DAG, need to discuss that about what the intent of the bill was and if there's anything in your statutes and rules that address that you can say the person should be able to get their license, that we allow them to do the apprenticeship. That's what I'm saying.
So
Can
are
we
we,
see? Oh, go ahead.
are we gonna have more people like this showing up?
We don't know until they apply, yeah?
Can we simply blanket them all in by stating that any person who applies for an apprenticeship before July 1st, 2023 and takes the test before July, well, not takes the test, but applies for the license before July 1st, 2024, does not have to have a high school diploma, will be grandfathered in on the previous law?
And the board can make, the interpretation. I'm a little, I guess maybe I'm just a little worried about blanket statements because I just don't understand like what are the outer confines of that, but maybe that's just me. The board wants to, they could make an interpretation of this grandfather statute saying that, apprenticeships in effect before July 2023, and if they apply before July 2024, then they're grandfathered in, and we don't need to meet the high school diploma requirement. But
Mhm.
Well, couldn't, and I know it makes a lot more work for you guys in the office, but couldn't we actually see those people who have,
Ooh,
I know, no, but I mean, those people who applied for apprentice prior to, because isn't there a timeline for when you need to finish your hours? Like it's,
it is
you
saying
just,
they must apply for the
No.
license before July 1st, 2024.
yeah, yes, so that's what I mean, so just those people, because at this point, from moving forward, everybody's supposed to have
A
their
high school diploma.
high school.
yeah, I would
But-
assume that this is gonna end, like, we're not gonna be running into these people, this category of people at some point.
Well, it should end July 2, 2024.
Yeah.
Because you have to have had your apprenticeship approved, started.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Prior to July 1, 2023, last summer. And you
Mhm.
have to apply for your license by July 1, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they apply July 2, 2024, they've missed the window.
Yes.
Okay.
If that's the interpretation you're going to go with.
Can we make a motion? Do we have to make a motion?
It would be best to have this be an official determination of the board. By motion. If that's what you're planning on doing.
Then I'd like to make a motion that all persons who have not achieved the high school equivalency, but did start an apprenticeship before July 1st, 2023, and applies for the barber license before July 1st, 2024, would be grandfathered in to the old statute and allowed to get their license or take the exam, pass, and get their license. Do we have a second?
Rainette Hall, second.
Okay. Then all board members approve, please. I
Approve.
can't, there you go. All are approving, so motion is carried.
Thank you.
Okay, any members of the public who would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, good. Then Executive Secretary, or shall I read this?
Oh, do you want me to do number C?
Or
Okay.
should I?
Whichever you want.
Okay.
You have the, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The email from Team Meticulous, January 5th, 2024. They would like to know whether it is against the law for nail technicians to work on clients with toenails that have irregular appearances or are affected by nail fungus. And are there any specific guidelines, protocols, or regulations in place to address the concerns related to toenail irregularities or nail fungus?
I don't know if there's any laws to it, but I know that as a nail technician of over 20 years, you're not supposed to diagnose or treat anyone for any of those things. You're supposed to send them to a doctor.
Yes, the textbook does state that it is against the law. I don't know what law, but it is
Yeah.
against the law to diagnose. However, the shoots, I don't know why. I had my barber rules here, or not barber rules, my beauty rules. And I do know that there is one area towards the end of the rules where it's got gross malpractice and all of that, if you're not following industry standards. And industry standards does come out of the textbook, and the textbook does say you may not touch nail fungus when you see it. However, irregularities are generally from trauma or from inheritance. And those ugly, ugly, coarse, big nails can be worked on. and should be worked on. I applaud anybody who's willing to do them. It's great. They need you. But if it's got nail fungus, it is important that whoever this person is get themselves a textbook and sees what the different disorders are, what the different diseases are, which ones are contagious, because we're not allowed to work on contagious people.
So
Anybody else?
They did ask for any specific guidelines. When you say the textbook, are you talking about Milady? Which textbook are you talking about?
I had a Milady textbook yesterday. It's one of the old ones, and it states so. But it's not only that. The board, what is it? The procedures. Why am I missing it? I just don't understand.
I don't know if it's changed, but back when I was in school, you weren't supposed to cut diabetic nails.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Because if the person was to get cut on their feet, the possibility of losing their toe or their foot is higher if you're not taking care of sanitation guidelines. But I don't know if it's a law. I've always followed it personally. And I have someone who has diabetic, I do not cut.
That is very, very interesting. I've never heard that one.
I would tell them if they want it cut shorter, they would need to go to their doctor. But that is a personal thing from what I learned back 20 years ago.
90% of us are diabetic. I would want that. I am sorry. Executive secretaries, could you find in the law where it does say you must follow standard business practice?
I'm looking.
I really want to stay for this one because this is totally my field, but I have to go.
Oops.
Okay, Andrew suggests we defer it. And then that way people can look up the rules and specific guidelines.
Gosh, I had it here. Yep.
So we're going to defer this one.
Yeah, that's the end of the agenda. So if we could defer this one for next meeting, we'll be able to adjourn and not lose our quorum.
Okay. I'm going to motion to defer till next meeting.
Okay.
And Margaret, you have all your paperwork by then.
Michael's.
I had it. That's what I'm frustrated about.
That's okay. Margaret, you had a motion and a second to defer this until the next meeting. Would you like to call that vote?
Yes.
Okay. Can we call a vote on a motion to defer this item to the next meeting? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed. It's carried.
Bye, Renette. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You guys
We're
have
ending the meeting.
Thank
Adjourning
you.
Take care, guys.
at 2:02. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right.
So are we going to adjourn now, Margaret? That was the last.
Oh.
item.
Yes, I said at 2:02. Adjourning at 2:02.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for all your hard work. Really appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank
See you
you.
next time around.